Okay, so ESPN has posted 25 under 25 ranking the WNBA's best young players. So this is a few days ago, but I had to give my take on it. So at number one, they have put Caitlin Clark on this list, okay? So they said due to injuries, she's been limited to 13 games this season, averaging 16.5 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 5 assists. But when healthy, Clark's impact is enormous. She stretches the floor with her shooting range, pushes the pace, and picks defenses apart with her passing. The 23-year-old brings an unmatched excitement factor every time she's on the court, and her confidence spreads to the whole team. She's also the biggest draw on the road of any WNBA player, so her effect on the entire league is huge, okay? And so I disagree with Caitlin Clark being at number one, and let me tell you why. Objectively, Caitlin Clark is a great player. The problem is that she's very limited in what she can do, and she has been exposed for that this year. The season was not good for Caitlin Clark. It is what it is, and like she was exposed. Because when defenses know they have to force her to the right because she mainly shoots from left, they force her right. They guard her full court. They put a lot of pressure on her. She's going to cough the basketball up every single time. And when the shots don't go in, she loses her confidence. She turns over the basketball, and she makes dumb decisions. And that's what they did to her this year. And her shooting splits were terrible. She was, 3 of 34 from 3 on the road, which is just absolutely abysmal. And so she's limited to the 3. So when you know you can do that and, force mistakes in that way and guard her full court, that's number one. Number two, you have the fact that she just doesn't have a bag outside of, the threes and everything. That was a huge problem for her. When you don't have a consistent mid-range jump shot or a floater, and the driving to the basket was not great as well. So you look at those things, and Caitlin Clark's defense is terrible. She is a defensive liability. And like I said, you can lie to me all you want, but you watch the film, and the film does not lie. She gets lost on defense multiple times. She gets cooked on defense. She's just not a good defender, okay? And people try to tell me that that doesn't matter. But whenever you do not have good offensive production, you have to make up for it in other spaces, especially defensively. If you want to win champion, you can't be defensive liability. Like, in my opinion, that's such a huge thing. And I saw multiple clips of her getting lost on defense and her playing terribly on defense. Those things do matter. So you have those things. And then the turnover, she's still averaging 5 turnovers a game, okay? It's not getting better in that regard, and it's just those things, okay? So yeah, she's a good player, but, she's been exposed, and it is what it is. In the offseason, she needs to develop a real bag because they're going to keep doing the same thing to her until she develops a bag. So that is my problem with that. And then also, it's an entire thing of, I feel, if an Angel Reese had a season like this, if a Paige Bueckers had a season like this, you guys would not have grace for them. Okay? Every time Caitlin have a bad game, we just turn away and we don't say anything. But anybody else have a bad game, they're plastered all over ESPN and fucking every other thing, okay? And so, yeah, I wish her best in her recovery from her injury and all those other things. She got to develop a real bag, and she got to develop a heart of a champion, because you're celebrating losing a national championship game twice and talking about best second place team of all time. You have that. You have the on the court stuff and the flopping and, the running away from smoke, which I don't appreciate. So that's why I fundamentally disagree with Caitlin Clark being at number one on this list. You can feel free to disagree with me. I'm sure y'all will be here in my comments calling me everything but a child of God, but I really do not care. From a basketball perspective, Caitlin Clark has not been good this year. Okay, we'll see what happens in the future and everything. I understand why people like Caitlin Clark game and all that stuff, but that's my take. Number 2 is going to be Paige Bueckers. So they said expectations were high for Bueckers entering the pros, with one GM telling ESPN she'll be a Hall of Famer in year 1. She has largely lived up to the hype and is on pace to join Clark as the only players to average 19 points and 5 assists in their rookie season. Bueckers' efficiency has mostly carried over from UConn, with her 46.6% field goal shooting and best of any guard, averaging at least 16 points in the league. She has shown the mid-range game still has a place in modern basketball, even in 2025. Her crowning achievement came last week when she became the first player to draw 40 points in a game on 80% efficiency. Okay. So I think Paige Bueckers should be number one. You've seen enough of my videos. I'm a huge Paige Bueckers fan. That's my favorite player, okay? Why do I think that Paige Bueckers should be at number one? Because she's better than Caitlin. I've went through this before. If you scroll down long enough on my profile, I have a video explaining this. I'm not going into that again. But I think that Paige has had a fabulous rookie campaign. When we're looking at dealing with the terrorism that is Chris Cole-Clannis as a head coach, you look at her teammates blowing her assist and not helping her. And offensively and defensively, Paige Bueckers is the best player on her team, okay? And the way that they're guarding her 3-on-1, 4-on-1 shows that they're doing unconventional methods of defense in order to stop her, because they know that she is the one who makes the team go, okay? Going against some of the best teams in the league, like the Minnesota Lynx earlier this season, and we only lost by 4 points. Without Paige, we get blown up by 16, okay? So Paige really has a deep bag. If you're looking at offensively, you're looking at what she's able to do, giving you a great mid-range jump shot, which they point out so kindly here. She is a great three-point shooter. She can finish at the basket, finish through contact. She's someone who has a post-up game as well. Just so many ways that she can counter the defenses. She can get a bucket any time that she wants, and she's great with her shot selection. She is somebody who does a great job at taking care of the basketball as well. So I think that Paige is just a really solid player offensively. We look at her defense, 51 steals and 15 blocks on the season so far for Paige Bueckers. And Paige is a great defender, and it's something that's not talked about enough, and I feel like we should talk about it more. And I'm pushing first team all WNBA for Paige Bueckers and second team all defense. But Paige has been fabulous for not being in a great position. The way that she's using her gravity to get assists, and she's playing like a seasoned vet already in year one, okay? There was that adjustment period, and when she got comfortable, she got comfortable. She's had some solid stuff this year, a 44-point game. First player to have a 40 points this year. She had a 35-point game as well, 15, 20-point games the year for Paige Bueckers. So Paige Bueckers has been everything she's been advertised to be and more, and she's just a fabulous player. Multiple first-team All-WNBAs coming her way, MVPs, championships, you name it all. Her composure on the court, her poise, I could go on. Like, this is a franchise player. Paige Bueckers is just a generational player. She's fantastic, and I think that Paige Bueckers should be at number one for all the reasons that I've stated. Like, she's just been so good year one. She's just been so good year one. Now we look at number 3, Aliyah Boston. Child, I do not feel like reading all of this, but she's averaging 15.2 points, fourth best among players under 25, and shooting an efficient 54.6% from the field, and best in the same group. She has a franchise record, 15 double-doubles this season, fourth most in the league. And so, yeah, and they're saying she can still get better and all those other things. I just think that Aliyah Boston at number 3 is actually lunacy. Objectively, Aliyah Boston is a great player. You guys know how I feel about those fucking elbows and how they come back to bite, and that's why she needs to partner with Lotion Company. I tell you guys this. My problem with Aliyah Boston being here is I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not seeing Aliyah Boston's ceiling being the third best player under 25 when it's all said and done. We got some people, and you'll see that I just think have a higher ceiling than Aliyah Boston if we're going to keep it a buck. Like I said, she averages like 15 points a game. She's efficient. She gets it done there. She can get it done defensively. She's a good player. I just think that other players have a higher ceiling than Aliyah Boston, and Aliyah Boston has to stop playing dirty with those fucking elbows and all the other shit, and the rest should be calling this shit. But I'm just not seeing Aliyah Boston at number 3. I'm not seeing Aliyah Boston at number 3. You know, top 10, you know, sure, but like number 3, I'm not buying that. I'm sorry. Look at number 4, Dominique Malonga. So she is 19 years old, okay? She's averaging 13.5 points per game, 7.4 rebounds a game on 60% shooting. Her athleticism allows her to make plays no other player her size can make. And she also displays incredible touch as a shooter, okay? So yeah, like, she's very young. She's very raw. She's already shown a lot of promise off the bench in her rookie campaign as well. I think she has to work on her defense, and yeah, she's just very raw. So I think she's a solid player. I think she'll be great in this league for years to come. At number 4, I wouldn't have her there personally, but that's just my opinion. Now we are looking at Angel Reese, number 5. So, you know, it's just talking about how she's shattering the rebounding records and how they were talking about how she's going to grow her sophomore year, and about her playmaking and how she's averaging 3.7 assists per game, top 5 among all forwards, and the most among WNBA players under the age of 25. She excels at passing in the post, and talking about Kamilla and her defense, her reboundings, and how she leads in rebounding, you know, and all that other stuff. So in my opinion, Angel Reese should be number 3, okay? And I know a lot of people are going to be here and disagree with me, but I'm sorry. I think Angel Reese has been great this season. Again, if we look at the situation she's in with Chicago Sky, with Tyler Marsh as a head coach, and, you know, the teammates that she has, like, bro, she literally makes every single game close, okay? With her averaging a double-double, and she has, 47 career double-doubles, okay, a rebounding machine, and she had 20 rebounds in the last game, and just record after record after record that she's breaking, and her defense is not talked about enough when you're holding players like Nafisa Collier and Asia Wilson under the average, okay, and they literally have to hold her back from getting rebounds, and, like, they just play a very physical way with her, and she demands a lot of attention, which is something that's also led to her assists going up, and her playmaking has taken a huge step this year, and overall, the beginning of the year wasn't her best. Second New York Liberty game, she said, fuck it, we ball. And, you know, she's just been monumental ever since, really. She missed some time due to injury. She came back, and she was great in her return against the Storm. Angel Reese is a franchise player. This is someone you build around. This is someone who has the heart of a champion, who competes every single play, and who is someone who makes everybody else around her better. And everyone around her, you know, across the floor, they know that it's going to be a tough game against Angel Reese, because she does not give up, okay? This is a great player right here. And I think Angel Reese should should be at number 3. I really think Angel Reese should be at number 3 on this list, what she's already shown. She's literally top 10 in Chicago Sky rebounding, and she's not even 2 years in, okay? Mark my words, like, Angel Reese is going to be one of the best players in the league, okay? So, yeah, I think 5 is too low. I think Angel Reese should be, you know, at least number 3 respectfully. Now we're on to number 6. Sorry, I just realized I'm not going to talk about this whole list. I'm only going to talk about top 10. But at number 6, we have Sonia Citron. So what is she averaging? She's averaging 15.2 points, more than she did in college, and she is 42% on threes and 88% from the line. So I think Sonia's been good this season. Sonia's very much a 3-and-D player, you know, shooting some open threes. She plays really good defense as well. You know, I think she's a solid player. I think she's been good for the Washington Mystics. I think she's had solid production. People using her for their agendas and shit, that's what really annoys me and stuff like that. Let's appreciate Sonia for what she does for this team. With that being said, I do think that number 6 is too high for Sonia Citron. Again, it's just my subjective opinion, okay? If we're looking at this, no shade respectfully, Sonia Citron is not a number 1 option, okay? Right now she is, but Sonia Citron is more a second, third option. If we're going to keep it a buck, okay? You know, they traded Brittany Sykes, so now they have to plan around her as a number 1 option and everything. But I just don't think it's a comparison to some of the other players on this list. So I think she'll be a good player for years to come, but number 6 I think is too high personally. We look at number 7, Kamilla Cardoso. So she's averaging 13.4 points, 8.4 rebounds, and 2.3 assists, okay? And so my thoughts on Kamilla, I could understand why they would put her at number 7, because Kamilla, whenever she plays like how she is supposed to play and she gives 100%, is the best center in the league. I've said this over and over again. She's had games with 20 plus points, with games with 27 points, okay? Even Kamilla, when she half-assing it, and, you know, like, it doesn't even look like she's trying. It looks effortless. If Kamilla would just go out every single night and dominate like I know that she can, I would not mind Kamilla being here. My problem with Kamilla is that she doesn't go out and give 100% all the time, I feel, okay? Defensively, she either like doesn't play aggressive enough, or she plays overly aggressive, and then she gets herself in foul trouble and sends them to the free throw line and stuff. So if Kamilla plays 100% and does what she's supposed to do, I understand it. Kamilla, you know, is a great player and everything. I think that Tyler Marsh should have her shoot more mid-range jump shots and more threes, because that's something that she's proven to us that she can do, and the league is going away from back to the basket players. And there's times in games where she gets exposed and everything. She could work on her stamina and things like that, sure. I think she's a good player, and, you know, that's kind of my thoughts on Kamilla right now. We look at number 8, Rickea Jackson. So she is averaging, they actually didn't put her average for some reason, okay? But yeah, Rickea Jackson is a great player, okay? That's the point. That is the point, okay? I think the LA Sparks, whenever they play through Rickea Jackson and Rickea Jackson not having a good game, like, they're very hard to beat, okay? She's shown some really nice stuff this year. She's taken more threes because Lynn Roberts took away the mini, which hurts me personally. But Rickea has a high upside. She has a high upside offensively. She is somebody who can be a 3-level scorer as well. My problem with Rickea at this very moment in time is her defense. My friend said this, but in theory, Rickea should be a better defender than she actually is. Rickea has to work on her defense, okay? And just continuing to be more efficient, because she was kind of in a slump offensively. She's got out of it, to my understanding. But I think she's a great player. She can be a solid, like, second option on that team. I really do feel that way, if not number 1. So I like what I've seen from her this year. I think the defense has to improve, but I think she's been good for the Sparks, and she's really, I believe, turned the corner after the All-Star break. Now we look at number 9, Cam Brink. So it's not saying what she averaged, I think. I think 9 is too high for Cam Brink, respectfully. I think Cam Brink offensively has to improve. This is something that she said herself, mind you. Defensively, we understand what she's going to bring. She's very much so of a shot blocker and putting a lot of pressure on defensively. However, she gets herself in foul trouble defensively. So she has to work on that, okay? And just, you know, let's be throughout the floor, probably a little bit of conditioning work on there too, being more consistent offensively. She is somebody who can stretch the floor and knock down threes, which I really do appreciate, and I get why people like Cam Brink a lot. I think she's a good player. I just think number 9 is too high. That's just my subjective opinion. Feel free to disagree with me. And at number 10 on this list, the last player I'll talk about is Kiki Iriafen. So she's averaging 12.9 points and 8.7 rebounds at the Mystics. And, you know, I've seen the recent stat lines and stuff, and I've seen Kiki play some games with her having 20 or more points, and Kiki's a good player. I don't think she takes a whole lot of threes, so that's probably something that she could do more of, and, you know, stretch the floor more in that way. The streets told me she has a solid mid-range jump shot and everything, so I'll take that. She can finish at the basket. I mean, I think Kiki's a good player. I think Kiki's had good production. I don't mind this. You know, she's doing really good stuff for the Mystics, and, you know, she'll be good for years to come. So I really don't mind Kiki at number 10. But that's my thoughts on the list. Let me know what you guys think down below. Feel free to agree with me, disagree with me, and we can continue those conversations.